Well, hello there. I am super excited. Welcome to the Dana Spencer Show, where we talk about solving problems, building relationships, quitting corporate, and the freedom to walk in your God given purpose. So, I hope you all are feeling amazing out there. I'm super excited today because I actually have someone that I actually went to college with who we are bringing on the Dana Spencer Show today. Please welcome with a warm to do Mr. David Wilkins. Woo! Welcome to the Dana Spencer Show. David, how are we feeling?
Good morning. Good morning. I'm feeling fantastic. It was definitely great to connect with you and glad to be on your show.
Awesome. So tell the people a little bit about David and where this fascination with sports came from.
At a young age, just my dad started getting me into basketball. And at that time, I was tall, clumsy with two left feet and didn't know what I was doing. But just was around guys and my dad, and that made it fun and friends that I knew and their dad. So it came at a young age. I guess when I was about 10, I started playing sports, football and basketball.
So football and basketball. So how did you make the decision between football over basketball?
Well, basketball was my first love. I didn't know think I was gonna be Jordan. I just loved playing basketball. I used to average 18 points, 10 rebounds. Just love basketball. Would play all day. When I was a junior in high school, me and my sister got into an argument, and she cut my wrist, my forearm, down to the bone, and I saw my bone, almost bled out, almost passed out, and died. Luckily, my mother was a nurse, so saved me. And then from there, like I said, never wanted to play football, but from there, I guess I had some anger issues that I needed to take care of, and football was that outlet. And then I just became good at it, and I got a scholarship to Eastern Kentucky from that.
Oh, nice. So I don't want to pass over. You said that football was an out for you. So,
Yes.
so tell us a little bit about that because I think between as a young person, the ability to find your out. For me, it was playing an instrument. I was too lazy to play any sports. So when I was thinking back over my life, I'm like, what helped me out of trouble? It was definitely having to practice my instrument. So you said that was football. So what would you say to some people out there who have anger issues? How can they use sports as an outlet for them?
Well, it's one is going to teach you discipline because even if you have some anger issues, you have coaches that are going to tell you what to do, and they're not telling you what to do. They're telling you what to do because they want to help you, and then guide you and use the anger in the right way. So discipline as far as getting up in the morning, going to work out without having somebody to tell you to go work out, getting ready for the season. Well, I remember my coaches would tell me, if you're not getting ready, somebody else is. So that would prompt me to always be like, man, if I ain't doing this extra rep, if I'm not getting some extra miles in running, if I'm not jumping rope, if I'm not getting myself ready, the spot that I want, somebody else may be able to get it because I'm not prepared. So it's almost like kind of preparing yourself. So with that discipline, that helped me to channel my anger because there are techniques you have to learn. Just because you're mad, you can't go out there and just play football. You have to harness that anger and guide it to where you learn techniques to make you be, become a better player, which then that did help me transition from the anger that I had. But I used that discipline and the things I got from my coaches in football to then translate into like going to class. Coach said you can't be, get in trouble. You teachers, you have to show them respect, and they'll show you respect because you are a person that's walking around and people are looking at you. So now you're going to be a butthole, or you're going to be a nice person to just people that you speak with. So in channeling that discipline because of the anger that I had from start playing football, it helped me in all aspects of my life.
Yeah, that's so good. Do you think coaches are still teaching their players how sports align with life lessons? Do you think that the coaches are still teaching players that?
I pray that they do, Dana. I really do. I pray that they do. But things have changed so much with these kids. I don't know. They want everything instant, and there is no instant success in any realm that we're doing. Even a podcast. You got to start it and then continue, and it's going to be some success. We all want an instant success, but it doesn't happen like that. So I would pray that they do it. They do a good job because a lot of kids, single family mothers taking care of boys. I had a camp that I did the other day, and that's mostly what came was mothers with their little boys. And I'm like, where the dads? Some of the dads were there, and they were mad and they had to get up in the morning. I'm like, what? It's but you here. You should have canceled it because it rained, but still we got up and we got some things done with the kids. We fed them. So I pray, and I do think some coaches are still instilling those virtues of discipline in football, and then translating that to because if I speak, I'm always speaking about better grades. I'm always speaking about being courteous to your parents and your teachers, telling them that and saying that you can't, you want to play but you can't because you have to do this over here in order to play football.
So, and I'm a single mother as well. And I know a lot of times from our perspective, we're the soft ones. We don't want, nobody yelling at our sons. And we are, we have to be the disciplinarian as well. But are you finding situations where the mothers are interfering with what you all are trying to do as coaches and influencers?
No, my mother, I mean, my dad left and my mom ended up being my mom and my dad, and then my coaches. So no, you all have to still do your part because you are the mother. Without you, we wouldn't be here. One, and then it's teaching us respect the women. Period. So no, you keep doing the great jobs that you single mothers are doing.
So okay, so you end up getting a scholarship for at EKU. So what was that like? So that's where we met at. What was that like? Because you all were up. You are the top dogs on campus. So what was that like?
Um, she went. I mean, I'm sorry. I was a text came through with the she. It was a blessing because I never thought I was going to, be able to play at the next level. One, my arm was hurt, and I just went to work doing what I did in high school. Two, I had to keep my grades up. Had to have a 2.7 back then. I think it may be a little higher now. And so when I started getting offers and people started coming by, like it's funny, Lexington, University of Kentucky, they came down. I took a visit down there because I thought I wanted to go Division 1. But when Eastern came, it was Coach Kidd, Coach Tenera, Coach Taylor. They had on all the rings that they had won from the year, just all the stuff that they did. And at Aiken High School here in Cincinnati, Ohio, we would be great 8-3, but they would never allow us to get to the playoffs. They would always allow these other schools. I'll let you figure why, but it just happened that way, and it just pissed me off. So when I saw those rings, I said, "That's what I want to do. I want to go get those rings," and that's why I ended up coming down to Eastern on a scholarship because I wanted to get rings. And I thought about playing basketball as well. Stupid, I should have because I could have did both, but just I don't know. I should have did it. I really that's one thing I will regret it. I didn't play basketball, even if I would have been great, just to stay in shape for football.
Yeah, and back then, definitely the football team was better than the basketball team back.
Correct. Yeah, but maybe if I was on it, we would have been better.
You
Just
there?
and then some other guys may have come out. I should have did that because I wasn't great, but I was good and I liked it, and like I said, it kept me in shape. That's the other discipline. Like a lot of these kids now say that they're going to just focus on one sport, which is okay. So then you lose that sport. Then what do you have? We were athletes back then. We played basketball, football, baseball, anything with some competition. We played, and it also kept us ready for the next sport that we did. But these kids now they say, I got a nephew. No, he did. He played football. He's playing with LaMelo Ball's AAU squad down in North Carolina. But I see what he's doing. He did play football. He played quarterback at Lakota West here in Cincinnati, and then once he started doing that, he's specializing and doing great.
So, and what position did you play at Eastern?
I I'm gonna go back to high school. In high school, I played offensive line, defensive line. I ended up being all state, all city, and as an offensive lineman. Well, the only time an offensive lineman hears their name is if they get called for holding. I used to get my head, got my name called for holding, and it's not a good thing. So, come the All Star game, I switched over to defensive end because I wanted to hear my name in a good light. Just okay,
Oh,
David Wilkins on the sack. I wanted my mother to hear my name, not for something bad. So I switched over to defensive end, and uh, in the All Star game, when I go back, I was telling you about being an athlete. I didn't know how to play. Well, I played D tackle, O tackle. Never played the end, but I just switched in the All Star game, and that's how I got a scholarship to Eastern. So I was a defensive end at Eastern Kentucky.
so you only played that decent defensive end for a couple games, and then you were able to get a scholarship?
Correct. Well, in a sense, yes, because I said I did both. Back then, we went both ways in in high school. So I was all state offensive tackle, but I still played defensive tackle as well. They just saw an athlete, so that's how I was able to get a scholarship.
I love that. So, and I talk a lot about how you do anything is how you do everything. So you're saying, you know what? I'm just athletic. I can do anything as it relates to sports, and I don't have to pigeonhole myself into one particular thing. I love how you were able to pivot just like that quickly.
Yes, correct, correct. And I didn't realize it until you just said it. It's just my coaches, they of course gave me support and said, "Hey, you can do it," and started working on me and teaching me the techniques that I would need to play at the position. So it wasn't just me; it was me and my athleticism. But I had some good coaches that said, "Dave, I think you can do it. Now here, watch this, watch that." So I would watch film, and what I would watch film is of the best defensive players that played in the pros. Reggie White, guys that play for Washington Redskins, anybody, Bruce Smith. I watched those guys, and that's how I became uh, better than the average person because I watched those greats, which made me good.
Oh, that was a bar. You watched the greats, which made you good. I love that. That was so good. So,
Thank you.
even thinking about your football, like I said, how you do anything is how you do everything. Can you think of a time where, like you said, you were able to pivot within your football career? Is there a time where you've had to do that in your everyday life and you're able to do that well?
I failed a lot. I'm just going to be honest with you, Dana, and I call it failure because it's just happening and nothing, nothing to me came out of good of it. But it wasn't failure. I learned. I've been doing life insurance, annuities, wills, trusts, estate planning for about 20 years. Started back in 2004 with Northwestern Mutual. So I know life insurance. I know that financial realm. Been in and out of it. But then right now I'm making the pivot. It's a story. Can I go back and tell you the story?
Oh yeah,
Because I'm
yeah.
asked.
That's what we
I am.
do.
I am making the pivot. I'm making the pivot because 20 years and I got clients and I still talk to people about life insurance. But I thought I was gonna make my millions empire that way. I have a best friend that I grew up with. I mean, 5 doors down from my house. I had a key to the house. Family, we all went to high school together. I've been knowing him since I was 8 years old. And I've watched him, we've been going the same track, been watching him, he's been watching me. He asked me for some help on this. I asked him help and how can I help you with some of the properties because I used to do property and casualty insurance as well. He's been building his portfolio. I've loaned him money when I was playing professional football. He gave it back because he wanted to buy some. I know what he's doing. He just said, "Can I borrow this? I'll get it back to you." Here, of course, man. And I've been watching his progression, and I knew when he was homeless. In a sense, he didn't have a place to stay, so he had to go back to his mother and father's house. Well, mom by that time had painted the room pink, and we're in there laughing because the room is pink. We're like, dude, look what you got to sleep in now. I remember, we're in there laughing about it, but we're just glad that he was okay and still trying to build his portfolio. He lost everything, but he built it back because he learned what not to do, what he could do, what was wrong, what was good. Now he's worth over $360 million. And it was like, Dave, man, that's your best friend. If you and I want to jump into the real estate investing field, why, who, or why wouldn't I learn from my best friend? It's a lot of gurus out there that I could call and pay, but my best friend. So I'm pivoting into real estate investing
Yeah.
because I have him right there
Yes, yes,
to
that is
guide me along the
awesome.
way.
Yes. And I believe that since you're used to, like when you were changing from offensive to defense, what did you do? You listened to the greats, right? To, like
Correct.
you said, to make you good.
Correct.
And now you recognize the friend, somebody who you know, who you like, who you trust, who is up in the real estate industry, and you're doing the same thing. You're like, oh, I want to be up in real estate too. Why not learn from the greats? It is the same thing.
It-
I believe in transferable skill sets. If we
yes,
got skill sets in an area, especially sports has some amazing skill sets, some amazing life lessons that we can bring over into our everyday lives. It's one and the same.
I agree. I agree. And I'm humbling myself, and I can't say humbling myself in a sense because I don't know it. And when I speak with people, I've been going to these classes. He has a book called. He wrote a book called "From Broke to Millions: How I Went from um, How I acquired over 1,000 apartment units with nothing, $0." And he gave me the book. I got the book, and this was like 2 years ago. And when I read the book, I can hear him talking to me because I know him that well, and I'm sitting there and I read it, didn't do anything with it. Dana gave it to a friend of mine so he could read it, and I said I need it back because I want to read it again. So I've read it 3, 4 times, and I keep reading, and it shows me everything. So it's telling me what to do, how to do it. Start to go to this website, go to this group here in Cincinnati called RIA. They probably have them in different places, real estate investment groups. And I went, and he used to take me to these groups, man. And I would go, and I'm sitting there laughing like, these guys need insurance. They ain't making no money in no real estate. It's okay, but I'm sitting there laughing and not really laughing, but just kind of not really paying attention to what's going on. And he would invite me to other stuff, and I'm just thinking, okay, you guys are doing all of this stuff in real estate. I do life insurance. Let me help you with, I'm thinking that's what my mindset was. Never caught on to it. So, but as I think about it, I was always in it, always around it, and now just being with him, I want to learn from the best. And I'm like, dude, just teach. Let me get in your coattails and listen and learn, and not want him to pay me anything. Just pay me with your knowledge, because with that I can take it further. And I'm telling him, like, what he said in his book is starting to happen. I went to a meeting, met a lot of people, and because you never know where you're going to find things. And then I had a client call me, not a client, excuse me, one of my first coaches when I was about 10. He just retired from a company called Frisch's up here, Frisch's Big Boy, up here in Cincinnati. He retired, has $232,000, wants to, you know, do something with it because he just retired but doesn't want to put it away, wants a monthly income. Of course, I do annuity, so, and I'm a partner, business partner on that side, does it real well. He's been doing it for over 20 years. So I said, Coach, he said, Dave, I've been doing some research and I want you to help me. Know, like, and trust, as you were saying. He knows me, likes me, and trusts me because I'm not trying to do anything crazy. Never did. And I said, okay, let me call my partner. I'm going to call you back. So I called that business partner and he didn't answer. I guess it was a blessing in a sense because I'll go back to reading Mike's book because, like I said, I was starting to pivot from the insurance because my other partner didn't call. So I'm reading. And as I sat down to read, it said, you're going to find money in different places. Could be a janitor, could be a teacher. A light clicked on and said, hold up. So I called Coach back. I said, Coach, I may have another vehicle for you to where you can put your money, have a monthly income, and also as grows and we sell the property, you might have some equity interest that you can get as well, and also save you on taxes. So what I do, I put him on the phone with Mike because I don't know what I'm doing, and I just listened. And Mike said, "Well, you may want to put." We asked more questions. That's what I like about real estate. It's kind of like real estate investing is like insurance. I don't do a lot of talking. I got all the bells and whistles and things that you need, but I don't know what you need. So when I started with Northwestern Mutual, that taught me a great thing. Where it was called a quiet company because we listen to what you want, need, like before I can offer you anything. We have it all, but what do you need and what's going to fit you? So Mike asked him the question, "What's your investment needs? What are you trying to do with this money?" He said, "Well, what you may want to do is put it in a self-directed IRA. That way, you have control of it." Me, I've never heard of a self-directed IRA, and I've been in finance for I don't know how long, 20 years. So I'm learning there, and I'm like, okay. Well, the self-directed IRA, you may know, gives you control, and then you can use it to put in real estate, which then you're going to get tax breaks, which then you're going to get monthly income. But then again, like I said, so we get a property, right? He bought apartment units. Now he's buying hotels. We hold them, then we sell them. Maybe 3 years down the line, you get equity and you get the tax break, even though you still got that $200,000. Coach said, "Well, Dave, I've been thinking about it's going to put me in another tax bracket." So we have a website called Apartment Investing. I looked on there. I put all the information in and said, "Will he have? Well, let's put him in a different tax bracket." Guy said, "Well, you got to give me some more information." So I said, "Retired, blah blah blah, once monthly income." Guy puts on there, "Nope, this will not direct him into another tax bracket." So it's just the learning process of, and I'm enjoying it going into real estate investing, and of course getting it from him. I know I'm talking a lot. One more thing, real quick.
No,
When
it's good.
when I'm following his steps. So July 4th, I really don't celebrate the 4th because we were not free. So I don't. So for Saturday morning, they tell you go to this website called loopnet.com, and LoopNet has what's on there that's available. I went on there and I found some properties, got all the addresses, and I put them in an app that I used to have when I used to travel around doing life insurance, knocking on doors. Put them all in there. Left the house that morning, didn't get back to Ford. I'm just going, and he tells you in the book, go by the properties, look at them. If you see somebody there, so I asked a young lady, I said, "You live here?" She was like, "Yeah." I said, "Do you like living here?" She was like, "No, they're slumlords, this and that." Went to another place, and he tells you step by step. So I was going step by step with what he said to do. Then I came back and I looked on there. I found out who the realtor was. I called him. I emailed him. I said, "Hey, my name's David Wilkins. I'm a newbie. I'm very interested in these properties, but I'm newbie, but I work with a seasoned veteran named Mike Ely." He says, "Oh, I know him." Well, he writes back, "Okay," and then he calls me, and I called him back. He says, "Yeah, I know Mike Ely because Mike's been doing it for 20 years in Cincinnati. So it's a big network, but small community of
Mhm.
people that know each other." And he said, "Yeah, I know Mike." I said, "Well, I'm interested in A, B, C, and D. I'm a newbie. I just want to get the information. We're gonna work on it." Dana, he sent me everything. Now, I'm thinking if it was just me saying that and I didn't say Mike Ely, he wouldn't have sent me that stuff. I'm sure he wouldn't. So a week goes by and I sent him, kids and people don't understand communication, of course, is key. So I know a week went by. These guys are busy. They got a lot of things going on. So I sent him another email saying, "Hey, just want to give you an update. We're still looking over the property. I'm still interested. We're still working with Mike. I just want to let you know because I know you're busy that I'm still interested." He emails me back and says, "Thank you for the update. That's great. I understand you got things going on. If you need any other properties, I got other stuff you can look into." I was like, "Boom, got you." And it says that in the book. If I mean step by step, I was like, "Wow." So got him. Because now he wants to send me other stuff that he has. One, because I followed up with the update just so he would. It been 3 weeks, a month. He'd have been like, "This dude got this information." No, you got to follow back up because you never know. So now I'll be able to call him and say, "Yeah, we like those, but this didn't work out. What else do you have?"
Yeah. And I think you've already found out one of the second principles that we talk about here on the Dana Spencer Show is the importance of building relationships. And I feel like you already have that. You already have it from when you were in life insurance, and it's just a part of the process. When you look at your entire life, everything that you've gone through from being an athlete and learning the discipline to life insurance, and how life insurance and building those relationships are going to pair nicely with getting started investing in real estate. It's just lining up all right there for you.
Yes, it feels that way. It's like this was the catalyst of me just taking my life to the next level. Which I'm like, all the stuff that I learned, all the failures that I had, now correlate to now I'm just talking to people because I was in a he had an OPM challenge for 5 days where you learn how to. I'm pretty sure that's why how you see me because you learn how to post and get people to start wanting to invest with you. And so we went to a thing called Post Ready Post, and you have that for a month. And I'm just and it automatically posts for you. If you don't have it, you might want to get Ready Post. Um, I'm it's like it's free for a month for me, so I'm just doing it for a month. But maybe after that, because you just go in and set them up. It has AI in there. You write in what you want. The AI will write what some other stuff. You can say yes, and then you can tweak it. But just from that, I'm starting to get impressions and hits. Just what they're saying to do, and that's all I'm doing. And I don't have a problem talking to people, and I don't have a problem saying, you know what, Dana, I don't know that answer, but I'm gonna get it from Mike, and then I'll get back with you.
Yes, that is so good. And so now I saw where on your LinkedIn post, so are you dabbling with like agency for players?
I was an agent back in 2005. I worked with a firm here in Cincinnati. He was an ex bingo player. His name was Tim McGee. I went to DC, took the test to become, they call it a contract advisor. My goal, when I got out of the NFL, I got out because I got hurt. Hyperextended in my left knee, tore my tricep. First day of training camp when I was in Indianapolis, and that was 26 years old. I didn't know what I was going to do.
Well, hold on. Now we have to back up
Okay, okay,
because
yes.
we had you at EKU, and then you were talking about getting injured in NFL. So we need to back up to, okay, things are going well. Did you get a ring while you were at EKU?
we got I got almost 4 rings when I was at
Oh,
Eastern
oh,
Kentucky. Yes, conference championship rings. Yes, we
excuse
we
me.
missed.
Sorry.
Oh, we had a you knew Lorenzo Fields, right? The quarterback.
Yes.
We had a that year. We had a great defense. We had a great offense with Lorenzo. This is my junior year. We're going to the championship game. We're going to probably end up winning the national championship with Lorenzo and our defense. We're playing Tennessee State and we're kicking their butts. And um, next half, second half, we're still kicking their butt. They scored 2 touchdowns and they were down in zeros. Now it's like 40 something to 17. So Lorenzo's like, I want to go back in, coach. Coach still regrets it to this day. Puts Lorenzo back in. Lorenzo scores a touchdown. He's in the end zone with the defensive back, grabs Lorenzo by the back of the pads, pulls him while he's in the end zone. Lorenzo turns around and his foot stays straight. And it's just our season's over. You can hear pins drop. So we didn't get a national championship, but we got a lot of rings at Eastern. And from there I got picked up as a free agent in with the San Francisco 49ers. We lost to Dallas in the NFC Championship game, so I had a chance to get a Super Bowl ring, but we lost to Dallas in the game before the Super Bowl. And then played some different places. Played overseas. Went to Atlanta, got cut. Went overseas. Went to Arizona, got cut. Went overseas. I played with the Frankfurt Galaxy. We won what's called a World Bowl championship. The NFL had a minor league system. It was here, but then they moved it overseas to London, Spain, Frankfurt, Amsterdam, Scotland, and another Rhine Fire. So 6 teams were overseas. And we went up, winning the World Bowl championship, came back, got with the Colts. They cut me in 95 right before the season. Went back in 96. Look up, I'm second on the depth chart, ready to just play the new TV deals that came in. So I was about to go from 200 to 400 because of those funds. First day of training camp, defensive tackle, centers locked up. He throws him. I had just planted my leg. Bam, hit my leg. Leg goes backwards. Straight, like your knee's supposed to bend. Mine bent the other way. So I hyperextended my knee, put my arm down to catch myself because it hurt like I don't know what. And then the pow hit my elbow, tore my tricep. So I had a cast from my hip to my ankle and a sling, and I was done. And I tried to come back, and then I had some. They did some microfracture surgery, but they said you just couldn't play anymore. So, 26 years old, was done. Didn't know what I was going to do, and end up luckily, prepared myself. I went right back to East Kentucky. Well, I called my counselor and said, "Hey, I'm coming back. I only had like a semester to finish my degree. Went back, got my degree. So my degree's in broadcast communications.
Okay.
I wanted to be on air. I wanted to be a sportscaster. People had always told me my voice was great and good, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna use it. So I finished my degree. It's funny though. Then when I went back, I got A's and B's because I got a furnished apartment. I didn't do anything. I stayed in that apartment. I studied and I focused, and I got A's and B's. I just want to make sure I got my degree because I knew at that time in life, a degree is just a key to open up other doors, and I needed to make sure I had that key because it lets people know that you can finish something. And so from there, got my degree. Then I came back home. And where were we? You were that's what that was the football career part of it.
So, and before we move on, how was that mentally? Because I'm sure, were you one of the children that were like, "Oh, I've always, going to playing for the NFL was a dream of mine," or were you the one, if it happens, it happens, it's okay, I can do whatever? But where were you mentally?
No, it was transition from it's. I, I'm gonna say it's like a soldier, but they got live bullets, so it's like but not in a sense. We're out there. We're like Roman Greek wrestling because you're out there. It ain't pretty. You fighting against somebody 300 and something pounds every play, and they trying to take your head off, and you better be trying to take their head off, or you're gonna get hurt. So then you get done. It's like, what am I gonna do? Because you live on the. It's almost like living on the edge every day because you don't know what's going to happen. It's good. My coach used to tell me because I was a free agent. He used to say, like, Dave, I got this bus ticket for you every day. So I'm like, I don't want that bus ticket. So I'm working hard to stay in the NFL. And then when I got here, I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know how to transition, but I knew, like I said, I knew how to go back to school to get my degree, so I could, if I did go talk to some employers, that they would see that I did finish something and I could come into their business and take whatever they taught me and be good at it. So it was a hard. I didn't. I still, I'm learning what the heck I want to do now at 54 years old. But the insurance, I love doing that. But now that with the real estate investing, it's given me a new sense of all that I've learned, all that I've done. Because I'll be talking to people about their money and how. But what I don't learn about investing, it's not just saying, "Hey, Dana, we got this going on. How much money you got? Can you come? Can you give us some so we can invest in these places?" No, we're gonna. It's all SEC regulated. We have lawyers. We're going to give you a prospectus. We're going to give you all the information you need about it to make your decision if you want to invest with us, and then what you're going to get your ROI if you invest A, B, C, or D. So, uh, same thing with life insurance. I did life insurance over the phone where I call people. They don't know me, and within an instant, within a 20-minute call, I'm getting your social security number, your banking account number, and your route number. You don't know me from a can of paint. All you hear is this voice, and I learned how to do that because you have to gain rapport and really quick because I'm not trying to make two or three calls. It's that one call. This is what it is. Boom, and I'm getting your account right number. You're good to go with your life insurance. So transitioning all that over to real estate investing is going to be great because here again, I'm a newbie, but I'm not because I'm working with a seasoned veteran. So when people, if they have great questions or thought process, I can point to my best friend and say, "Listen, he's worth." When I say worth 360 million, a lot of it's with the investments that he has, but some of it's net and cash that he has as well. But he had to go through a lot to. It ain't just him getting there, and he has a whole team around him to help him be continuous section. Now they just use his name and his story. So I'm using his story. This is my best friend, lost it all, so he knows what to do. And as I've been listening to him as I put him on the phone with people, he'll this when I say best friend, he called me like, "How was that, Dave? How did I do here?" This dude worth more than me, but it ain't about that because he knows that I'm his. He thinks in his mind it's all mental. That's Dave. So Dave, how did I do? I said, man, you're not the same Mike. I said, you're Mike that I know, but you still now you're a professional. I hear the way you talk. I hear the question that you ask. you have ascended to a different level. And it's all great because you didn't just say, I'm Mike Ely, I'm worth this, I'm making this. You said, hey, tell me about yourself. Tell me about you and how we may be able to help you. It may work out, it may not work out, but tell me how we can maybe assist you.
And is that's exactly what you said you did with life insurance. It's
Correct. Correct. And a lot of the people that I did with life insurance, I'm going to call them. Uh, not the I did final expense, but some other people that own businesses. I'm going to call them and say, hey, Dana, I pivoted to real estate investing, and I'm working with a seasoned veteran who was my best friend. His name is Mike Ely. I went from zero. Now he's worth over $360 million, and we invest in apartments and hotels. I wanted to touch base with you and see that if you may be interested, or you may know someone that may be interested in investing with us.
Yeah,
And leave it at
I
that.
love that. Yeah, I love that. You got your spill. You've been doing this for 20 years. It's just from life insurance to real estate investing. I mean, you're just a natural. I just hear it, right?
And I just made that up. Like I
I
have
know off
scripts,
the cuff.
but now it's just in me because it feels so good that he's my best friend. I ain't really got to make up nothing. It's my best friend. That's making all this money. Excuse me, that has worked his butt off to get to where he is, and is a seasoned veteran, and can help you with whatever with your money if you want to come over to this side. Because I just didn't know all the different tax benefits as well that
Mm,
comes with real estate. And a lot of people don't know it. And I'll back up to what got me into investing or even thinking about finances. I remember when I was sitting in my house and I'm watching a commercial, and daughter says, "Hey, Dad, I want to go to the mall. I want to get these jeans." It was a white dad and a white girl, daughter, and Dad said, "Hold on a second." He went to his computer. He looked up what's the name of that company. He looked up the name of that company. He bought some stock in it and said, "Okay, now we can go to get you them jeans." I said, "Man," I said, "we need to learn that." I'm talking about black people. I said, "Because we're not taught this." I said, "We need to learn that." So that got me on my. I want to be the person to help black people understand. We need to start investing. Start quit being consumers and being some owners of stuff. And it's
right,
okay to be that way. Don't let people say, "Oh, you think you this and that." No, I want to learn. This book, you can buy it too. You can read it as well. You can learn, and don't go off of what uncle, cousin, aunt, niece, friend said. No, do some research, like I did. And if you got questions, if you doubt me, I got references and research to back it up. So I ain't just talking out the side of my mouth. And if I don't know it, I'm gonna say, you know what, then I don't, but I can get the answer.
right. So, how are you like? Where do you feel like you're gonna? Well, let me back up and say this. So, from an athlete's perspective, how important you're just now seeing a little bit the importance of investing in real estate and how it has helped your friend. We've heard the documentaries on athletes who have made $400 million and then when they
Bro,
retire they're completely broke.
yes.
So and
Excuse me.
that's one of my goals too, because when I was hearing this I'm like, well, how come nobody taught them about real estate? And so that's what I'm on a mission to do as well, because I don't want to hear another documentary about someone who made $400 million and they're broke. Like if they were to invest in real estate, then now they can have generational wealth and pass it down to the next generation. So how important is that? And I'm giving you a little bit of a cheat code as well. How important is it for you to pull in, the athletes, because they're going to be drawn to you anyway because you were in the NFL. So it's already a leg up that you have over myself. I was never in the NFL. I never played in the NBA. So you already have a leg up on athletes. How can you see yourself even using that as a way to help athletes to get started investing in real estate?
We can still work together, Dana, because people. No, I'm serious because some guys would be like, I know Dave, I like him, but I like her better, and that's what people don't understand. Even though that I play ball, yes, my goal now. I think about it. These dudes, I don't care who you are, baseball, basketball, football, hockey, whatever. we need to sit down and talk, man. We need to. You got your cousins, uncle, aunts coming to you with their hands like cups, saying, "Hey, can I borrow this? Can I borrow that?" And now I can give you some advice and say, those people that are coming to you asking you for something, say, you know what, Unc, you know what, cuz, I'm not gonna give you 5,000. I'm gonna give you 50,000. But the 50,000, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start a real estate investing firm. You're gonna go and learn what you need to do. I'm gonna set this money aside for you to do that, and then you're gonna make some money, and then now you're gonna go help somebody else. So yeah, my goal is to learn as much as I can and get in front of as many athletes and say, dude, we need to sit down and talk. Me and my best, we can help you and your family have some generational wealth, because every time you step across that line, you don't know where if you're gonna get hurt. You may have gotten $10 million, but you ain't got. You didn't really get $10 million when you signed, because you got taxes, you got FICA, you have pay your agent. So out of that 10 million, you may have 6 million left. Now you got to live. You're gonna buy a house for 1 million. You're gonna buy cars. Now you're down to 4 million, and you're trying to live. If you do get hurt, where's the income coming in next? With real estate, you're gonna have some passive income coming in on a monthly basis, no matter what. And then that is going to make your transition easier from pro football to regular life, because now you got a business set up. You got an LLC. You have a trust. I'll show you, get you a trust to put the LLC in the trust, and I'm going to we're going to show you how that this stuff that you're doing now is going to benefit you 5, 10 years when you do have to make that transition. So yes, I definitely, now in Cincinnati, I'm the vice president of the NFL Players Association.
Okay.
What that is the union for the players. When I got done, they weren't doing crap for us at all, to me, and they were supposed to, because I remember I called them. They said, "Send me your resume." So I went and bought this CD to learn how to put a resume together. Put my resume together, sent it to them. This is in 1999. Never heard from them. So I had a real bad taste about the NFL. Total Things are totally changed. So what my goal, and what myself and the president's name is Mark Collins. He went to East Kentucky as well after us, played punter, and then played for Buffalo and Seattle. And our goal is to get the information to the guys. I only have 2 years in. He has 2 years in. So that I'm not vested. I didn't get vested. You need 3 years to be vested. So the more years, the more stuff you get. But I don't care. My goal is to make sure, but if you sign a contract, there's some benefits for you as well with NFLPA. There are guys and young guys that don't know what benefits they have. So our goal is always to say, listen, man, you got A, B, C, and D. It ain't, you earn this. It ain't nothing that was given. You earn all these benefits. You need to know about it and to get it. And then I tell the guys, hey, five. Now I need you to tell 5 guys that you know that you play with or just know that play about these benefits, because they were just like you. They didn't know. Now they need to know. So you need to tell 5 guys, and then tell those 5 guys to just keep spreading this, because we'll have meetings. We had a meeting 3 months ago, and the oldest guy there was 94. The youngest was 31. Well, a couple years ago, we didn't have but maybe 16 people that would come. This time we had 30. So we're starting to get a good group of guys that they want to be around each other, because without that, you ain't got nothing. Even though you could be the NFL players or whatever group you have, you don't want to be around them, you're not going to come. So we'll smoke cigars afterwards. We'll sit and chat about life and what's going on, your family. And I always tell the guys, take this information and give it to your significant other or your spouse, because I know your butt ain't gonna read it, and she needs to know what's happening, because we gonna CTE is real. We're gonna forget, but they're gonna help take care of you. So she or your significant other needs to know what the benefits that you have. And now it used to just benefit us individually. Well, it now start like we had a Wyatt membership where we could just go. But now they start saying significant others and every people in the family can go, because they know that's a well-being of you. So that person definitely. So we make sure that the women or the significant other in that person's life gets the information, because we know they're going to really read it to make sure that both of you all are good.
So where do you see yourself? But I know you're just brand new into real estate. If we had this 5-year blueprint, or your 5-year wish list or your vision or your dream or whatever you want to call it, where would you like to see yourself? What is it, 2023? No, 5 years, 2028, July 2028. What does that look like for Dave?
I'm 28, five. I'm 54. So, we on the fourth quarter of life. So I want to be. I got the blueprint. I got my best friend. I might not be at 360 million, but I want to. That will be my goal in the next 5 years, to be at $360 million worth of property income owned, and also I already see it, Dana. That and it ain't just it ain't about the money, because once the money, and I'm my family and then my friends are taken care of, the people that I love. I'm not. I don't. I'm to the point where I don't need toys and just stuff anymore. I just don't. I don't really think I don't want the this, and I don't wear a lot of jewelry. A lot of jewelry. I wear my rings that I earned from football, but like buying this and that stuff, I don't need that. So my goal would be to teach other people to do the same thing that I did. If I can do it, you can do it. And don't, as you probably already know, it's your mindset.
Oh,
But the mindset comes from what we were told. We don't, most people just do what they were told instead of just getting a book and reading it and say, "Man, I know that." Because I, I remember sitting down when I started with Northwestern Mutual, and I was 30, and there were some young guys there that were 25, white guys, and they went through the process, and I had to go through the process when I got there, and then they would take us out, and I would call people, and then we go in, and I'd sit and listen, and then next time I'm like, all right, Dave, you do the whole presentation, and I did the whole presentation, and it was a black couple, and when I got done with the presentation, they looked over to the white guy like, okay, and it hurt. It hurt because I'm like, what the? So he then said everything that I said because we went through the same training, but they believed him. I was like, man, it hurt, but I had to get the sale. So we ended up getting the sale, but I just understood. Black African Americans, black people, we got some issues that we need to address now. And when I mean that is, look, man, we can do this. We can have a lot of money. We can help other people to attain money. We can get real estate. We can be wealthy. We can set up our families for legacy of, okay, like I got a nephew that's delivering furniture. I don't want him doing that anymore. Now, in his mind, when I say that, once I get to a point where I'm there, and he'll be like, "No, he's going to be comfortable in that scenario of just getting by." And I'm going to have to take him out and say, "You're going to change your mindset, nephew. You ain't going to just be getting by with monthly this and that. No, we're going to take you to the next level. I'm going to want you to read this book, and I'm going to set up something where I'm gonna pay you on a monthly basis, so you take the pressure of off of you having to have to go to work and worry about that. Your education, your work is going to be education, going to school, reading Mike's book, being around me, not hanging out, just learning. So that was my goal, to be able to teach, become wealthy enough to be able to teach what I've learned with the real estate investing, of all the knowledge and the friends that I had, the group that Mike has with the law. The lawyer was on one of our group calls, that we learned that this thing is deep, but that's why you have a team, property management team, rehab team, because it's a lot. My head was blown the first 2 weeks. Sometimes I'm the kind of person, I got to stop because it's just like overload, information overload. Because I'm trying to learn everything, and then I just stop and let stuff sink in. But then as I'm learning, that won't be my job. My David Wilkins' job is you can put me somewhere. I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna find a friend. I'm gonna talk to somebody, and I can't say they're my friend, but I'm gonna end up talking to somebody. We're gonna have a good conversation. This NFL always makes, of course, people they want to talk to you. I'm not a boastful person. I don't have an ego about it. It is what I did. It's not who I am. So if that opens the door, fine. We'll open the door with that, and then we're gonna go to business, because that's what it's about, or teaching or learning. Because I'm gonna learn about you and a lot more than I want to tell you about some old accolades that I had. I'm an old dude. I ain't in the game no more. So I want to learn about what you got going on. So I would love to teach, get wealthy enough to where then I can teach what we do, and then have other people teach. Because to me, the best coaches that I know, they have a legacy of other coaches that came underneath them that learned and went on and became great coaches as well.
So how is it for you to transition out of football, because athleticism is and was your life for so long. You seem like you've done such an amazing job with life after sports, life after football. Like, how were you able to do that?
Oh, I made some mistakes. It hasn't been easy. Um, you always have to go back to football, and as far as the disciplines, and football is a microcosm of life. You're gonna get knocked down. You're gonna get knocked down on the field. What are you gonna do? You're gonna stay down. You're gonna get up. No, you're gonna get up. When we watch film of our mistakes. We watch film of what we did right to become better. In life, you got to sit down and talk with your friends and family, significant others. Say, hey, I just got some questions about me. What am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? What do I need to change? They're gonna tell you some stuff you don't like, and you're gonna tell them to kiss your butt and all this. But you had to sit and listen. Like, I got another best friend. His name's Gary. And Gary, Dave, you was wrong. Or Dave, you are wrong. And I had to stop and say, all right, Gary, thank you, because that's what a friend's supposed to do. He ain't let you just go continue to be a butthole. They're gonna tell you, you're wrong, man, and you gotta listen. So it hasn't been an easy transition. I'm still making mistakes. But as far as my mindset now with the real estate, just like I said, from me watching Mike, and now he talks, he does podcasts, he does, and a lot of people are listening to him. He's trained a lot of people. They've gone on and they're being successful and wealthy. It's just like, man, this is kind of what I needed. I have the part where I can talk to anybody and do, conversate and get what we need to get done as far as business wise. Now I have a backing, like, well, I got, hey, and he wrote a book. I mean, this is documented information of how he went from zero to where he is now, and we can help you if you want to do this, if you want to get the now mindset, because you know how it is, Dana. Most people think I got to go work 40 hours a week, make this, and be struggling, and you don't. Because if you're working for somebody, I always tell people, you working a job, right? Do you ever see the owner? Most people, no, because the owner gone somewhere because he got people working there. He or she is gone, open up some other business, or they on vacation, or they're around other business individuals that have different a mindset of, okay, I got this business now. How can you help me become better? Like Mike. Mike said he spends $150,000 now on coaches. He's making money. He's successful at what he does, but he still pays for coaches to become better. So I want to be like yourself. I want to get on the podcast, and I don't know if I'll have my own, but maybe just a 10, 15 minute show where I have people on, just tell them about real estate and how it can change their lives, and then have experts on. I, I've learned from football. I play defensive end. If Dana, you defensive tackle, if you're supposed to be in the A gap and I'm supposed to be in the B gap, and then I go in the A gap, and now we both in the A gap, we're gonna end up losing because now they're gonna go to the B gap and do what they need to do. Yet again, football microcosm of life. If we all play our roles, we're all going to be successful. So my role is not to know everything. It is to learn as much as I can and be well versed in it. But like I said, if I still don't know it, I have a team of people behind me that can, hey, all right, Dana, I'm going to get you on a phone call with such and such. They're going to be able to explain the question that you asked me. They're going to be explain that, and then we'll get back together and see what the next move is going to be for us moving forward.
And one of the things that you said that I don't want to overlook is the fact that as Black people, we have old information, and
Oh
we've
yes,
been doing what has been comfortable and what has helped us to get by. It's not until we get new information via a book, via somebody else's success story, that we can then pattern after what they have done. We don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Mm-mm.
All we have to do is pick up a book of somebody else that has been successful and just follow their blueprint. How
Yes.
important is it to you and to all of us to surround ourselves? Exposure. How important has it been for you to make sure that you're staying around people who are further along in the process than you are, that you can learn from them? I call them your squad. Like you have an
Yeah.
amazing squad, right?
Yes.
How
Yes.
important is it for you if you're around the squad of the broke 40 hours a week mindset? How important is it to get around a new squad that is going to take you to the next level?
It goes back to, if you're the smartest person in the room, you need to get out of that room. You need to get around some other people smarter than you, because that's going to help you grow. COVID slowed me down because I'm a people person. I get energy off of being around crowds. And COVID, I ain't want to be around nobody. I had COVID 3 times, and the last
Mm,
time was really bad. So I was not trying to even get back into the world once COVID was. They said it was done. I still was hesitating because I just the last time I had it, I was in the bed. I mean, my whole body just hurt. So, but now it's time to get back to being around and get around people smarter than me. Football is the great equalizer that I played professional football, because they're like, because most guys are like groupies. Man, they want to, oh, you play ball and you. Of course, I don't care. I don't have an ego on this. It is what I did, not who I am again. So I'll let them get it out, and then we got to talk business, because I need to know. Tell me about yourself and how you've been successful, because all of us every day we got the same 24 hours. What are you doing with those 24 hours? Who are you around? What decisions are you making? Good, bad, and different, on your health, on your education, on your mindset. What are you reading? What are you listening to? Like, I don't even really, the TV doesn't even come on anymore. I used to be a person had the TV had to be on, watching this and that. The house is quiet because I don't want to hear that crap. They ain't really telling you nothing on there but crap. ABC did this. ABC died. Somebody killed. Somebody murdered. That's not news to me. That's just, and even other shows. It's about celebrity. This, and people got to get off celebrities. They ain't the smartest people in the world. They were lucky. They worked their butts off to get what they did, but they stupid. Celebrity is some of the brokest people too, because they use credit and this and that. Again, credit debt, because they think they have to. It's all this. I gotta have this. I gotta do this to look like this. And I hope people are starting to watch or listen to some of these entertainers. And like Prince, I remember when Prince was talking to, he wrote the symbol on his face because he was rebelling against the system. We didn't understand. We thought, what's wrong with you, man? You making all this money and you tripping about this? No, he was trying to tell y'all, I'm still a slave. They own me. I have to go out here and perform before I can get this money. I don't just
mm,
get this money by performing. I get a little bit, but I got to pay A, B, C, and D. Then when it's on wax, they get a piece of it. And it never dawned on me. They used to say they get 2 cents or 6 cents each album. That ain't a lot of money. It might end up being 600,000, a million too, but for what you did, that's not a lot of money. So I hope people start to hear and understand that these guys and women, they're entertainers, but they're not the smart. That's not who you need to listen to. You need to listen to somebody like Dana, that's been in corporate America and said, you know what, I'm gonna leave working for somebody. I'm gonna make it on my own. And people think you're on. It's hard to go out on your own. It ain't just an easy decision. Well, you had to study, you had to learn, you had to make some corrections. You had to say, all right, this is what I had. It's a you're a business. And going back to what you asked about the NFL, in the NFL, you're a business. LeBron James spends almost $200 million on his body. That's why he's still playing at the top of his game, with his nutrition, with his health, with his trainers, everything he spent, because he is a business. And also, you had asked something earlier, just surrounding people. We were talking about that. People understand LeBron. I don't see why people hate him. It's just the dumbest thing in the world, because the kid was a single parent, came from a single household, could have been in the streets, could have did anything, and has never been in trouble. Still with the same woman. I mean, it's only helped people. But you mad at him for what? Don't get it. But what he did was, He had an agent, had a white guy when he first came out. So white guy's getting a piece of whatever he does and this and that. So his high school teammates, he said, "Listen, guys, I'm gonna pay for you to go A, B, C, and D. Work here, work here. I want you to learn the game." He fired his agent and hired them as agents. Now,
Mm,
one of Rich Paul was one of the richest, well-known, influential, best agents in the business. LeBron James' friend. I can't remember the other guy's name. They got the podcast Undisputed. He's doing well, and everybody within his realm that they were there, he said, "Y'all, I ain't gonna go get hire somebody I don't know that I just seen." And that's kind of what I want to do. Like, um, people around me that are my best friend, as I get wealthy, I want to be able to help them become just as wealthy. They may not want to do what I do. That's fine. As you were talking about, black people are comfortable, and that's the worst place you can be is comfort. Their comfort zone is nothing but a killer. But they're comfortable every 2 weeks. But I'm gonna start telling them, I don't want to hear you crying about you got to go to work. And I'm going to Portugal tomorrow for 2 days, and I might be back. I may not be back. Now you can go, but you got to go back to work. I would love for you to be in a situation where you could be just like me. You can make decisions. And I'm talking about your family set up. You ain't got to worry about money. You ain't worried about where I got to. No, we're gonna read the book. We're gonna understand. Now you're gonna do this as an education. When you get off work, you got work to do, or you can keep going to work. So, and some people will, that some will, some won't. So what?
right. So if we were going to put a bow on this conversation, what would you want the listeners to walk away from after listening to this podcast? What's the one thing that you would want them to walk away with?
Start to change your mindset. Start to understand that you are more than what you think you are. Get out of that comfort zone of just being comfortable every 2 weeks getting a paycheck. You are a conglomerate yourself. You can do it. Don't let people keep saying, "Well, you think you better than this." No, no. You get away from those individuals. Get into a group of people that are smarter than you. Get around people that are doing something that you see. You can start seeing the wealth. Like, like I said, I've been there with my best friend, and next thing you know, he bought a Cadillac Escalade. Now he has a Bentley. Now he has a Ferrari. I called him one day. He said he's going with his friends to go look at planes. He said, "David, I didn't want to go. I ain't trying to buy no plane." But the fact that he got friends that are going to buy planes, that's big. He may not. Then he said when he got back, he said, "Dave, I understood. It wasn't about me buying a plane. It's about me being around those individuals that can buy a plane. And then one day I will be there as well." So get yourself around out of that same comfort zone and get to some people that are trying to do something with you, not just for you, but with you to take you and your family to the next level so you can start leaving some legacies. Um, great kids, grandkids, great grandkids, cousins, friends, just people around you. You all start taking the neighborhood to a different level where you may own the neighborhood.
For sure, for sure. So how if somebody's out there and they're like, "Man, I want to learn more from you and Mike," and how do you all have a mentorship program or a coaching program? How can they connect with you all?
He does. You can get the book from broke2millions.com, www from broke2millions.com. Um, you can go to Nassau Invest, www.nassauinvest, and get information. NASSAU invest, uh, IMVESTS.com, and you can learn more about Mike and the different programs he has that you can learn. And you can get me at 513-410-5171, 513-410-5171, and get information. I'll guide you and help you as much as I can and get you to the information that you want. And then my email is dwilkins at .benterprisesllc.com. And the reason it's .b, that's my mother's name. Her name was Dorothy Beatrice. All her friends called her .b, Dorothy B. So the name of my business is B Enterprises LLC. Because when my dad left, as we go back there real quick, my dad left when I was 10. My mother went back to school, went to school. She never did it. She went to school to learn how to do hair, cosmetology school, and she did hair in the basement. And that's how she made a living for us to eat and pay bills and all that stuff. So that's where I kind of got my entrepreneurial spirit from, because she did that, and then she would make, man, God put stuff in front of you. Danny, we would be billionaires right now. My mother used to make homemade rolls and cakes. Every
Mm.
November 1st, the phone would just start ringing off the hook. Mom, Miss Dorothy, I want to get a dozen of those, 2 dozen. And we don't know how to do that. I mean, we could have took that business, yes. And I remember when I went back to school, one of my projects for communications was to film something from start to finish. So I came home, and I came home with this is back when they had cameras, not, I mean, and I set it up in the kitchen where she was doing. I was going through the process. I may have that. I don't know where that tape is, and I was going to tape her from the beginning of her making those rolls to the end. That was the project. I think about it now, I probably wanted to go hang out, so I didn't. I was like, "Ma, it's all right." So when I got to school, I know how to cook from my sister. And when I was in San Francisco, I used to go out to restaurants all the time because I didn't know how to cook. And I called my mom, and they're like, "I'm tired of going out." And my mother taught me how to cook, and I used to burn up stuff, but that's how I learned. So I did a thing from how to make start making the pancakes to finishing the pancakes. That was my thing. Instead of my mother making us rolls, which would have made us millions of dollars because they would be in stores everywhere. So I forgot your question, but I got off on a tangent. That's where they can find me. Find us, call us, get with Dana. She'll give you the information, and I love to talk with anybody about just changing your mindset, because you are great. Don't let nobody else tell you that you're not.
Oh man, that's awesome. Football is what I did, not who I am. I love, love, love that. So thank you so much, David, for coming on the Dana Spencer Show. It has been an unbelievable pleasure to talk with you today. And to our listeners, make sure you follow him, make sure you reach out, because we can all go up together. All
Yeah,
right. Until next time. Thank you.
you're welcome. Thank you for having me.